Hey, welcome back to another Chickcast. Now, today's subject I want to cover is additional factions to add to your army. So, you have your main army. We all have our main armies. My main army is Ultramarines. So if you know me, you'll know that I love the boys in blue. But I've always struggled to find either another faction to run on its own or to run with Ultramarines, and I have done that a lot. I've used the Ultramarines in a game and I've ran something else alongside them, so it's been Imperial Knights, Custodes, and more recently it's been Adeptus Mechanicus, but I have tried to make these factions like a faction on their own so I can use them. I think the only other one I did have until recently was Imperial Knight. So I have the ability to create a bound Imperial Knights army. So I've got some detachments, the super heavy detachments, so I can run them on their own. And they do generate reasonable command points, which are really important with Imperial Knights to get the command points. What I used to do is I would take the Knights, but also take a very small Ultramarines battalion. So it would be cheap. It would be like 3 scouts and a couple of cheap HQs, just so I can get the command points. But then I made Knights into a full army when the Knights Codex came out, and it made them very playable and they were good, and I had a lot of fun running them. But when you've only got 5 or 6 models on the table, it can be maybe not as fun, or people find it hard to deal with them, so I don't run them very often. So I've just been going to my default Ultramarines, which I love to play. I like them a lot, but I wanted something else to go with them. So last year I tried the Custodes, so the bike guys. I can't remember what they're called, the Dawn Eagle jet bike, I think it's called. I'm sure you can correct me in the comments. I ran them with Ultramarines. I ran the bikes. I had lots of bikes and they were awesome. I used the Ultramarines again, the cheapy scout stuff, to get command points for them because they needed it. But then I could also have them as a standalone army. I did do that a few times and it was fun. They are very powerful factions, so maybe not as fun for my opponent, and that's not really how I want to play a game. I don't play competitively. I play to have fun, and that's the main thing, just to go away and have whether you've won a game or lost a game, it's just getting to the end point and you've enjoyed it. I haven't given up on the Imperial Knights, and I still have them because they are a faction that I really love, and it's something I've liked for nearly 4 years. I mean, that Knights kind of what drew me back into the hobby, because I thought they were so cool, and they are still cool. But I did drop the Custodes because they were a bit too powerful and didn't really feel it with them. And then more recently I have been running the AdMech with my Ultramarines. So I used initially it was the robots, the Castellan robots. So I got the Apocalypse Vanguard box, 6 robots. I'd already bought a couple, so I had 8 robots. I tried that in a game. It was fun. The robots don't have much tactical flexibility beyond just shooting a lot of bullets, which is quite interesting when my opponent plays me and I say that these guys can shoot twice and then it's just a crap load of bullets. But I have tried them now as a independent army, and I had my first game using them quite recently, and I sucked big time because it was my first game with AdMech, but I enjoyed it. And I am going to build on that, and I already have, because you can't see me, but by my side is my pile of things to do, and I've got a gene call in there I need to make for my AdMech, but they are interesting. But getting there, and from where I've been, say 3 years ago, lots of failed armies. So I've tried having a Tau army twice now. So 3 years ago I tried Tau, and I painted a lot of models. A Storm Surge, that was quite fun to paint, and Riptide. I did go with I think it's the actual Tau Empire colour. Maybe I might be wrong, it's the white one. I had to pick the white one. That was a total pain in the butt to paint, but it didn't work out. And then last year I decided to try Tau again, because I'm always thinking I want to try something different. I did Tau again. Didn't even get to the point where I run them in a game. At least when I did Tau the first time around, which was in 7th edition, I did play them and they were just as insane as people said. But in 8th edition, I didn't run them. I painted a few models and got the codex, but never actually got to the table, unfortunately. Then I also tried Elder. I've tried Elder once and a little bit now. So a couple of years ago, I thought I quite liked the Wraith Knight. Is a nice model, so I picked the older Get Started box for Elder, and I painted quite a few models. They were nice to paint. I enjoyed painting them. So I chose the Siam Han Craft World, so the red. I can paint red really good, so I picked those. But again, it never went past just painting a few models and then I just sold them. And I have a few Elder models again, and very on the fence, and I'm not painting any of them. I have done Admech before, so I did try. I got the Get Started box. What else did I get? I got some robots initially. In 7th edition, if you remember the formations, the robots had a crazy formation. I cannot remember what it was, but it was bonkers. And then I got the Start Collecting box. But yeah, I used the robots in some games, and that was it. That died, and then I sold my sold or swapped, I can't remember. I tried Astra Militarum, so I thought I'd give the Guard a go. Unfortunately, I didn't get past painting a Lehman Russ battle tank. I think that Chaos. Oh crikey! Yeah, last year I decided to try Chaos. I was going to do a World Eaters warband, and I painted Khan the Betrayed because that is such a beautiful model, and didn't do anything else. I got some things, models and stuff, but I didn't do anything with them, which is a complete waste. I decided that I'm going to stop wasting my money and my time on projects that are just going to fizzle out. So it's why now I'm set. I like Admech, and I've got a good basis to build on that. I've always got my Knights. I love Knights, and it's always Ultramarines, and I can get it because it's right here. I do have the new codex and the new supplement. I will be making a video about them soon. I know there's about 1 billion other people who've done review videos, but I'm just going to give you my thoughts and opinions. I've already read the books, so awesome. I love them, and I love Ultramarines, and I have done for 3 years. And 3 years ago, thank you for picking them. So that's it really. I can't think of any other factions that I've tried within Warhammer 40,000. It's pretty much the only thing I've painted or played. I have tried a tiny bit of bolt action. I did like the randomness of that game, but that was it. Oh, I remember another one. Oh, it was Tyranids. So a few years ago I thought, let's play some Tyranids. So I bought a few things to get started, box the old box, and I bought a Tyrannofex, which I started to paint up. I think I chose the High Fleet Leviathan, and I got so annoyed with just layering up the creamy bone colour that I gave up, and then I swapped them for a Knight. I remember swapping them for a Knight. I think that is all the factions that I've tried. So I have personally, I'm just talking about myself and my journey into this world of wargaming. That's how many factions I've tried. I'm sure other people do try that. There are a few I haven't tried yet. I haven't tried Drakuri. I haven't tried Gene Theatre Cults, Orcs. I've got Orc models. I was a guy from my local club gave me some models because I wanted them for something, and now I have no idea why I wanted them, but I've got a load of Orcs, but that's not going to be an army. I haven't really got an interest in painting Orcs or just like Xenos races in particular. So, oh yeah, and then there's the new Sisters of Battle, but you know, that's such a cliche. I might be a girl, but I like big burly space marines rather than blonde war sisters. But they do look cool, and I like the new models. But it's just I think the one thing that I've took away from all that experience, and the one thing that I can give, if in terms of advice to people, is don't buy a crap load of models. That's my problem. I won't buy one, paint it, and see. I'll just get loads because I think that looks cool, that looks cool, I'll paint this, I'll paint that, and I usually don't, and they end up in a pile, or I sell them at a later date, and I always lose money on that. So that's something I'm not going to do again. But I think after 4 years of going through all these factions, and I started off originally with Space Wolves, I think I finally found 3 factions that I love: Ultramarines, Adeptus Mechanicus, and Imperial Knights, and I'm going to stick with them. I know it's famous last words because I'm always really bad at keeping to my own personal goals within this hobby, but they're my goals, and you guys can tell me off if I get it wrong. So that's what I wanted to say and discuss. Just a few other things I have to do. So thank you guys for subscribing to me. It's brilliant to see so many people be interested in what I say. And if not, please like and subscribe to me, hit the bell, share, all that sort of stuff. And there's a lot of links in the description. So I have Instagram, Twitter, there's a Discord, I have a Patreon, Chickpaints. Most people will know who I am. If not, it's just Chickpaints. Go look on pretty much anything, and you will find some of what I do. I have, as I mentioned, I do have Patreon. I have to give some shout outs. I have 2 Patrons, so one goes out to Plutonium OD and the other one to Tim's Hobby Corner. Thank you guys for supporting this channel. It goes a long way, and if you guys at home fancy supporting this channel, then like I say, the links are in the description. So I am going to finish talking and just say catch you on the next video.